Hello everybody, happy Thursday. I know I'm late, but never mind, I'm never late. Everybody else is just early. Let me make some adjustments here to my sound. As I said, welcome, happy Thursday. Not much going on, just typical Thursday, nothing out of the ordinary. Let's go look and see what we have in the Facebook groups. Excuse me. That's funny. We don't know what happened, but something went wrong. That is like a epic error. Let me go here. Same stuff. No new questions, so we can just ignore that. And so what we were working on the last time was this recurring task scenario. So today being the 21st, let's say today is the 21st. Let's go look at a what is it, May? Today is Thursday, the 21st. Being Thursday, but it's the third Thursday. I'm curious if I add a recurring task. Let me just add it. Third Thursday. Best. Oh wait. Make it 30 minutes. Recurring monthly. Third. Which I still need to fix this in the weekday. Third Thursday. Repeat every month. Effective the 21st. And let's make that for December. Valid until December. Alright, so recurring tasks. No, see, it's not showing that. Today's being the third Thursday, it should show up. Recurring tasks. Oh, there it is. So it does show up. But oh, I remember what the bug was. Remember I was talking about this yesterday? Yesterday I mentioned that there was going to be a bug on this because what happens is when I create the recurring task, it's creating the recurring task, but it's not updating the cache. I think that there's a way that we can update the SWR cache. The reason that it's not updated is because if we look at the recurring task, or rather the task form. So if you look at the task form under submission, it where is it? So it runs that build recurring template. So it builds a recurring template with the data, but then it runs the create recurring task here, which is just a function that basically what this function does is it creates the request on the backend on the SharePoint list, but it does not update our cache. Typically, when we add a recurring task, we use like a helper function, and the helper function gives us that optimistic update, but it does not return an ID. And the reason we need the ID is because we need to update the parent ET recurring template ID with the ID of the newly created item. But what I'm wondering is if we can take this recurring task and mutate. We can mutate. Let's try running this. So after the item gets created, we need to run mutate, and we need to run mutate on use recurring tasks. So this right here. Mutate recurring tasks. And so we run this right here. Need to wait it. We just run await. And it's got a parameter issue. Oh, created. Okay, created is not assignable to parameter. Oh, because it could be undefined. What? I'm not understanding this. Argument of type, current item template is not assignable to parameter. Oh, because this is returning an array. So we could do this. Still messing up. Wait, what? Argument of recurring template item is not assignable to the array. And this is a recurring template item, right? Because if we look at the recurring tasks API, when we create a new item, we're returning a single item back. You can see create recurring task is returning a recurring item. What? Why is it returning? That's bizarre. Recurring item. The promise is supposed to be just returning a recurring template item. Why am I doing this? When you create a new item, it's going to return the item itself. So you should just be able to put result. I think I may have had AI write this API and it's not written correctly. Yep, that's what happened. Because watch, if we go to, which I should just keep a test list at all times anytime that I'm working. Let's duplicate this tab. Contents. All right, so in contents. So, if I add a new item, console drawer, here we go. See, it returns a single item. So that API function is written incorrectly, first of all. That's the first problem. All right, so let's go fix that API call. Technically, this is the recurring item template. And then we could just return result. Okay. Now let's go look here. Well, this is for an update. What about for a creation? I mean, technically I could just run mutate with the API key, but I don't want to do that because then that means I'm refetching the entire array. Response, and you're passing the new item, stringified. Okay, mutate API tasks. Oh, so this is how we can do it. So this is how we do the adding of an item. So it's gonna be await, mutate recurring tasks, and the key for mutation on the recurring task. Use or use. This is and our recurring task URL. And then we gotta pass the original array, which the original array would be recurring tasks. We pass the original, we use the spread operator, pass the original array, and pass the new item to the array. So recurring tasks, created item, validate false. What am I missing? Oh, because recurring tasks cannot be undefined. Well, to do that, we can just pass an empty array if it happens to be undefined. And why does this? Expected 2 arguments, but got 3. I don't think I need to put that because is revalidate turned on. We have revalidation, revalidate is false by default. And this is, okay, what is mutate recurring task 1? It needs the data, which is the array. That's all it needs. Okay. And then we set that correct. And then this should fix our issue. All right. Let's go see if that bug is fixed. Add a task, 3rd Thursday, 2nd test. Monthly on the 3rd Thursday every month from now until the end of December. Save it. And now, voila. God, I love it when things work. All right. I don't like the sizing of this. And then I wonder if, well, let's see how add all works. It didn't add them all. Add all. Add all literally only added 1. But just in case it was a bug. It really did only create 1. Oh, it says they're all there. Oh, because I have to remember these are already here. Let me delete these two and see what happens. Investigating audibly. Gonna test the recurring tasks. At all. I see all three of them being added, but you saw how they kind of like show up and then they go away. Which leads me to believe that the way the add all button was set up, it's not AI didn't write it correctly. Because if I refresh the page, it should be able to see all three of them. There you go. See? Okay, let's go fix what AI did. Let's go see recurring tasks at all. Right here. At all run it's gonna run the handle at all. Handle at all runs through every row. So it creates an array of pending items by iterating through every row. And then if the item's length, if there are none today, then it would return. It would just break out of the function. Duplicate count. Execute at all items catch. Did it go and create a function called execute at all in the API? Or is it just a wait? What? Oh, it's a function within the dashboard. On save task. This is part of the API. Like, I wouldn't even think that a junior developer wouldn't do this. Another thing is that it's got a bunch of components in this component. What a mess. Execute at all. It runs the on save. In dashboard. Right here. On save. No, it is using the mutator, but it's just prop drilling to pass the mutation. My curiosity is why do they show up, but then they basically disappear. Because if I delete them, I think I know what the problem is. Let me see. Let's go to use The issue is that they get created with the same ID, and so I think there's an ID conflict. That's what I would guess. If we look at recurring task dashboard, what's the word I was? Execute at all. It receives the pending item. Default test. Yep, this is the problem right here. I bet anything if I could do this. Because it's just a temporary ID. But to create on every item, let's item dot template dot ID. Set that to I need to create a way. I need to add like a random number. I need to add a random number to this. I wonder if this will fix it. Go to manage tasks, current tasks, add all. Okay, so now it's failing. And I think I know why. Because that date is going to be a string. Why am I here? Oh, I'm not thinking. Hold on. All right. Yeah, because this is gonna be a string. Watch if I do const test equals me, and then this test is gonna be, oh no, it's a number. is this build task function here? Task. Give the week. Generate random. Let's see. Let's try this option. It still does the same thing. So it's not an issue with the ID. I guess I don't understand it. It's supposed to be adding them to today. So this is not the issue. I'll get rid of that. I think the issue is too that the task home, which is this right here, is running this memo. So today, where is it? Today's tasks, filtered tasks. That doesn't make any sense. So this use app tasks fetches the active task by user and with the user ID. Revalidate on focus points. This is gonna return off. So we technically could mutate active. Is that being exposed? Mutate active. It's not. Ah, okay. Given that mutate active could be generally smaller than the completed, because obviously completed just will exponentially grow, I think what we could do technically is mutate active. I think we could do this, and then down here the copy here. Okay, so now that we have that on the dashboard, after all of our ads have happened. That's just gonna be so ugly. Basically what I was gonna do is on every iteration, and when we're adding a task, it's going to run the mutator. Since we're only mutating the active items, it would just basically refetch our tasks and show our information. Let's see what can be done. Let's see what AI says about that one. It uses handle so this still uses its own save task, so it's not that one. We don't need this. We don't need that. Don't need that anymore. Handle, save task. Yeah, so here it is. Where is our handle that task right here. This handle that task is being passed to task list filters. Oh, so I think let's go back. This needs to be cleaned up. So this was part of log point layout. Log point layout. Log point layout. Log point panel. Okay. Uses handle save task. So frustrating. Let's see. Log point panel. Oh, wait a minute. I just answered my own question. I wonder if there's a fix by doing this. Batch add items PMP. Yes. What's happening is every time that we run this function right here, as I was typing it, I figured it out. Every time we're passing this task array. Now, mind you, the task array is being optimistically updated. By using this add task and add task option helper functions. But I'm thinking that there's like a race condition where it's not directly updating it because it's passing a brand new another version of the array. And the reason being is because tasks itself, oh, it's coming from the use app tasks. Yeah, I definitely think that we need to change this to a batch update. Because I think this is gonna fix it, batch. Add items. Here we go, add multiple items. The question is, so you're creating the two objects for the batch operation. You're getting the list. You're creating an empty array for the resolve. You're adding the first item using, and then you're running execute, which is one of the props from SPFx. Rest.length. I'm curious. Let's test it out. So here, let's see if that one. No, we don't need it. Right here, we're gonna go batched, add. Oh wait. Let me just copy this. Here. We have batched list equals test list. Then we can add the two items, execute. I'm just curious what res returns. The array, right? Because if it returns our array of items, technically I could use that in the SWR helper function, create a batch update hook, and then it would add them and then concurrently have all three of them in the batch in the SWR cache together. and then this would eliminate that. So the issue that I'm having right now. I'm just gonna add a couple more, just 3 of them, just to test what we're doing anyway. Okay, yeah, so it does return our 3 items. So let's handle it that way. Rather than handle save task, we can actually use a new hook for recurring tasks. So let's go to our hooks. Or let's just create our API first. So for recurring task, function to create new tasks and batches. Receives array of recurring, yeah. Am I misspelling this? It's not like this. Okay. All right, perfect. A recurring task, correct. Batch. We're gonna return this as, I think it was batch and execute. And the reason we're getting this create batch error is because in our PNP config, here, oh, we have batching on. What the heck? Create batch is not, what? Let me see. Oh wait, no, we got the SP. SP. No, you don't use web. Batch. Okay, so now we have our batch object. And then const list. Then we have the list. Add. Oh, we had to iterate through the items. So for, yep, list add. Got all of our props. You could technically just copy this right here. So this takes care of our adding, and then it returns all of our tasks. What is it doing within batch? Items dot add. List.items.add, and we have our then. Oh, did we create a response for our array? We didn't create a response for our array, so we need to add. created tasks. And then now here, after every update, we add a dot, then create a task push, batch this. Oh, okay, that's where I messed up. Batch. Okay. What am I missing now? This dot items dot add. Promises must be awaited. I thought this technically. Every time it adds an item, let's try this. Create a task. Is now use. What do you mean? Yes, it is updated. I guess it's because it's in here. How can I avoid this? But by me making this const, it's not gonna work, because then push gets... Well, maybe? I thought const meant constant, and you can't... I thought constants were immutable. We're learning, we're learning, we're learning. Oh, that's right. I can't reassign it and change it to. Okay, now that makes sense. I had it messed up. I had the incorrect concept. Okay, so that takes care of that. Okay, so now that we have our batch update, we need to create a hook similar to the use add recurring task like this, but the difference being is URL. What did I call it up here? Wow, I guess I'm not commenting that. Okay. Fine. Let's go to create. recurring task batch URL. Like that, that'll work. All right, so now that we have both of our God, my brain isn't working right now. Now that we have our key and our function, we can go and create our hook. So we don't need the API anymore. We need to go to hook. App tasks, recurring tasks. We need a helper function. The new helper function is going to be called use batch recurring. And it's going to be very similar to this. Import recurring from the app props. We're also going to need, wait. All right, let's not overthink it. We're gonna need that from the API. Export const use batch add recurring task. Correct. Pretty much now return our what am I missing? Oh, what's missing? Okay, all right, so with this batch recurring task, it's gonna basically update the array of recurring tasks, but it's gonna do so in a more consolidated fashion. That way, if I select at all, I can use that mutator, the mutator for the recurring task, and instead of passing one singular item, I'm passing several items. So with that being said, oh shoot, I just dropped something. Yeah, so with that being said, we can go back to our task dashboard right here. And rather than execute at all, instead of doing this, we're gonna bring in the hook to mutate all of them. But yeah, this right here is what we need. We're gonna need to bring in mutate recurring tasks, and then instead of and it's right here, we're gonna bring in the helper functions. Equals use batch add recurring. Oh, this should have been called tasks, because it's a plural thing. All right, so that is there. And now we can use our helper functions. Our options in the recurring tasks. And then in the handle all. Oh no, it wasn't the execute all. Rather than having an iteration of the items, wait, let me put this to the side. Await, mutate recurring tasks, and batch recurring tasks. Wait. Pending item array. And to create, I'm assuming, is the correct array. Pending item, but what pending item is? Let's see what pending item template, this interface. Okay, that's not how I want to do this. And why does it matter on the duplication? Oh, is it a prop? When I go to recurring tasks, is it a prop that I don't understand? Skip duplicates. Where's this? So execute at all. Duplicate count. If duplicates is greater than 0, set pending. Else execute at all. What is it? Why is it setting up a pending create? I'm trying to figure that part out. AI, why did you put that? Because at the end of the day, if we look at our UI, the user can see that the items exist. It doesn't make any sense to me. If I'm choosing to add on, I can clearly see that they already exist and technically there is duplication. But why would I have to have a secondary check to that? Or at least that's what it seems like it has. Execute add all. So here on the handle add all, it takes the pending item array, creates a pending item array. If the effective scope is equal to today, I'm assuming that's a state. Oh, okay, no, that's a state based on whether you're addressing this from block point or today. And I think this is probably a prop that's being passed into the progress bar. Okay, so row day statuses. Else get next matching workday. Please don't tell me you created this function. Okay, good. It's getting the utilities. That is creating to choose set create error no on save task. This is just for adding a single item, which that should work fine. Let me see. Let me test it because I may be wrong. I'm gonna delete these three. I'm gonna go to recurring tasks. Yeah, see, creating one is fine. Creating all is the problem. Okay, in which that's what we want to fix. Handle add all. If it's today, then it pushes the day. Otherwise, it just rows is coming from where? Once row of rows. What is rows coming from? I don't understand. Const row of rows. Is rows just a global state? Oh, it's a use memo. I don't think we need this execute at all anymore. Where is it? Execute at all. So let's just do this. So here, I'm gonna do mutate recurring tasks. batch, add recurring tasks, and this is expecting the items. Why is this giving me an error? Oh, because pending item. The pending item is what type? Oh. Where's pending item? We're gonna need to make it an async function, but I feel like this is such a waste of code because we're basically creating pending item only to deconstruct it so that I can pass it as a recurring template item. Template dashboard row. What is template dashboard row? Which this is a huge mess in the first place. Or is it? Template row. How long have I been at this? Oh, I'm running out of time. I gotta get back. Row is type template dashboard row. Is this coming from the utilities? Recurring. Enjoy utilities. All right, and I'm looking for template dashboard row, which is recurring. Yeah, here we go. Recurring template. There's gotta be. Handle at all. Where's handle at all? Right here. I don't think I need any of this code. Let's get rid of it. Handle at all. But just basically do all the rows, the row. But rows, how do they get created? Where's rows? Rows. Build dashboard rows. Recurring tasks. Where's the build dashboard rows? That's a utility, isn't it? Yeah, build dashboard rows. It's coming from here. We could technically use templates. Rows, so build dashboard returns templates, which is the template item. I'm gonna have to restructure the so annoying. Because what's happening is this build dashboard row is very important because the build dashboard row actually isolates our recurring tasks to only return what's relevant, meaning anything that's gonna apply to the current week or the current day. And so that returns an array of rows. An item, an object rather, with the recurring item template and a task status. Because remember, it could also be complete, meaning you can have a recurring task that is, that is done every day on Thursday, being today Thursday, but you already completed it and forgot, and you're gonna go and try to re-add it. It also should check whether it's already completed. And that's why this is so important. However, I am thinking my options are have the template dashboard rows not only return the template row, but also return the array of applicable items. I'm gonna have to think about that one, but I have to go back to work. Sorry. I hate to leave things like this, but I'm gonna leave that just as it is. I'm not gonna touch it, and I'll continue. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it tomorrow. It being Friday, usually Fridays I'm doing stuff, but we'll see. Maybe over the weekend I can spare some few hours, maybe do a little bit of coding and gaming, and see how we can get this project continuation. But if you follow me on Twitch, you can follow me on YouTube. If you ever have any questions or you're do some kind of SharePoint development, if there's anything I can help you with, I'll be happy to do so. Until the next time, peace.